poll watcher.
Yan.
Itong si Erica La Chica from Liberal Party shares with Eagle News the challenges faced in absentee voting and what his observations are in vote validation at the consulate.
Joining us on this elections coverage is Eric La Chica, our poll watcher for the Philippine Consulate, Washington, D.C. office. Thank you for joining us, Mr. La Chica.
Yes, I'm representing the Liberal Party Philippines. I'm an official poll watcher. And it's really exciting to watch our hardworking mga Filipinos dito sa Philippine Consulate. So it's really an honor to watch this. It's actually my fourth time being a poll watcher over the past decade.
This is your fourth time, you said. How similar or how different or how was the progress from the first time you've been a poll watcher to this elections?
Yeah, thanks to the advocacy of many of our NAMFREL group in the Philippines and other advocacy groups, including our U.S. Pinoys for Good Governance, they have really computerized the system. When I first observed the first elections polling, it was by hand. Talagang grabe ang bilangan. It took them almost 2-3 days just to complete the counting. So we're very hopeful that this exercise, this coming Monday, will be successful. We have certain concerns that were raised with the ambassador and consul generals in different cities because late yung mga mailing eh. You know, there's, as they mentioned, you know, here in Washington, D.C., there are about 36,000 registered Filipino voters in the area, and they were only mailed these ballots as of April 30, as you heard from the Consul General. So that's almost a 2-week delay. Mailing lang yun. So ngayon, as mentioned before, there are about almost 300,000 Filipino voters in the U.S. And according to the ambassador's video announcement, they were only mailed May 1st completely. So ngayon, ang problema, we are fearful na baka there will be a failure of elections because of the last-minute surge. Kasi right now, as you've probably heard, only 7% of the ballots have been returned as of today. And they have Monday coming up, which will be a big challenge, a last-minute surge. In 2016, there was a 30% response rate. Nagsagot sa balota, nag-mail out. So whether they will meet the 20% threshold, you know, even 15% may be a challenge. So we are pushing hard for an extension of the counting of the ballots. There have been other precedents. It's not unusual to have delayed. Oh yes, especially sa Pilipinas, because mga outlying mga barangay took them a long time, 1 or 2 weeks just to bring the ballots for counting. So we are hoping that this will materialize, and I think by Monday, I think the consul generals will realize that they have to maintain an openness to count all the ballots that have been mailed back. Isa pa, maraming nabalik na mga balota as of in bad addresses. 500 last Monday, and the advice of the ambassador is for Filipino voters to inquire, to go to the consulate and pick up their ballots and return it, hand deliver it. So we're advising our supporters to come to the consulates and get their ballots. Maski yung presidente ng grupo namin, si Attorney Rodel Rodes, found out his ballot was in the San Francisco consulate. So yan ang mga challenges faced by our hardworking consular staff. So that's why I'm hoping that the good ambassador and consul generals could prevail on COMELEC to accept late ballots para ibawi yung gastos.
As a poll watcher, aside from what you've mentioned, what is the #1 thing you look for when they're feeding or counting the ballots here?
Well, I've read the procedures, the COMELEC guidelines. I'm very glad our hardworking staff, the consuls, have been showing me how they're doing it. I'm pretty impressed. The training that they got and the efficient machines that they have here. There haven't been any breakdowns, and as you know, Smartmatic was also a controversial machine, and the first time, I'm glad that it says on the bottom, made in Taiwan, as opposed to made in China. Kami po are very worried about, of course, you know, the integrity of the voting using machines. Because, you know, as they say, garbage in, garbage out, you know, so.
Okay, last question. How adamant are poll watchers like you when it comes to making sure that the Filipino votes are counted correctly?
We are we have to consult our hardworking consular staff, looking at their logs, watching closely the opening of the envelopes and the scanning of the ballots. There, like last Monday, we had two so-called fraudulent ballots kasi they were damaged by water. So the reading on the screen says